afternoon. It's really a pleasure to have you on this call discussing this beautiful topic. My name is Akorede Zainab. I am your co-host for today, and like always, it's usually a pleasure to share this stage with my beautiful sister, our own host, the brain behind this particular webinar. And as always, she has a way of coming up with this topic that has a way of educating us about what is currently happening in our society, what we are experiencing, whether in ignorance or sometimes that we even know, but we don't know the health implication of them. Okay, so permit me to introduce our beautiful host, Omoke Olisa Adeyemi. Kindly greet our audience, introduce yourself so that we can get this train moving. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, my beautiful co-host. Good evening, good afternoon. I can say good morning, depending on where you are. You'll be listening to us from. Okay, my name is Romoke Olisa again. I am a wellness coach, a certified first aid rescuer, a nutritionist, and someone that is passionate about helping people live their best life with natural food, with personalized food plans that can help you to focus on what you are eating to know that they are actually serving you and not working against your system. I can help you to manage any lifestyle disease with what you eat. So you can work with me to make food your best medicine instead of depending on pills. I am also an author of books. Like I've actually written three now, but two are out, and then the next one is coming soon. I wrote my first book, Dealing with Sense Superfood, a simple guide to make the most of food with natural food and fruit. If you've not gotten your copy, this is the time to do it because the food we are eating now is not smiling. So you need to know more about the food you are eating, how to use them to actually heal, what they look like, where you can get them from, and how you can identify them. Very, very important. Thank you so much for having me, my co-host, and for everyone on the call. We appreciate you all. We can't do this alone. This is going to be a topic that we want everybody to contribute to. We want to hear your opinion. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to learn from you. We want this to be a conversational discussion that we will all benefit from. Thank you so much.
That was beautifully, beautifully said. You know, when I said my beautiful host, I know you're wondering. Yeah, you can see her smiling, always smiling and beautiful. That's the truth. I'm not even copying here. But what draws me to her most is her intentionality. No matter what, Romoke will show up. And she will show up with value. That is the truth. Here, please share. Let people know that something is going down here, something very valuable, something very educative. So please do well to share. Christiana P, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Ahmad, if I'm correct, please. If I'm not, pardon me. I'm so sorry. Please do well to share. Thank you for joining us. And I bet you will not regret because on this call today, we have amazing speakers. Not just speakers that went to the internet to do their research. These are people that have walked the world. Yes, people that are in the field. They have seen it happen. They have facts. They have evidence. They have everything to back up their claims. So you'll be learning so much, but don't be selfish. You have to share, right? There is love in sharing. So share your link, share the link to this event. We are going to put it in the comment section. Just copy, share it on your status. Let your friends join the call. The more, the merrier, the same. So today on the stage with us, okay, I think I didn't introduce myself properly. I'm a public speaker. I host events. I host webinars. I train people to become confident when they speak to eliminate the fillers in their speech. You know, when you're listening to a speaker and they're saying, before they say one word, they're saying 10 you know. Those are fillers. So I help people to eliminate that in their speech, become more confident, articulate your thoughts, if you're having difficulty putting your thoughts together and coming out with it such that it impacts the audience, I am your go-to person, and that is exactly what I do. And I'm so excited to be your host, as I said earlier. And I was going to introduce the talented, the educated, the charismatic. There are so many adjectives on my head, but so that they will not say that I'm copying Grandpa. When he talks, you will understand what I'm talking about. Yes, you will realize that I'm not even copying anything. Yeah, yeah. Okay. We have on the stage this afternoon the gallant and ever supportive Grandpa Godwin Chinaka Okafor. If you have not met him, don't worry, you will. When he opens his mouth, you will understand what I'm saying. You will see value dropping like rainfalls. Yes. So, Grandpa, you have the floor. I will not introduce you. Please introduce yourself. Let people know what you do and how they can connect with you. Thank you so much. The mic is yours, sir.
Thank you very much, Zainab. I most times I find it difficult to introduce myself because I won't tell you that I'm a specialist in food as medicine, but I'm a practitioner. I walk my talk. When I went to look out for GMO foods, I went out to buy. So I became passionate about eating the right food, selecting the right food. Many years ago, after I recovered from a bad diet lifestyle, of course, I never knew I was eating to death. That gave birth to my book, excuse me, my first book called Eating to Live and Not to Die. I was inspired to write that book, and many people, you will need it. You will need to read it because it saved my life. And the book is a testimonial. I guide people also to recover from especially diet-induced sicknesses. Most people do not know that sicknesses are caused by what you eat and what you drink, or what you fail to eat and what you fail to drink. If you fail to drink water, you will have blood clotting, you will have stroke, because the viscosity of your blood will be very high. Your blood will be thick. Then you begin to forget things. The blood supply to your brain will be short. So that's my specialty. I help people to reverse diabetes, reverse high blood pressure, high sugar level, cholesterol, and whatever. So I'm a practitioner. I'm practical about it. And then I'm a writer. I've told you I help people to write their books. I'm a ghost writer. I help people to write. I'm an editor extraordinary, if you like. I have ego eyes. And my sister Romoke will be wondering, this old man, this Papa, I pick out, in fact, you know why I'm saying this, because some people will be offended. If I say, Romoke, that thing you posted, can you go back and edit? She will rush back. Before I go back, she has done it. So that is me. So I have passion for life. I have passion for life. And I want people to live well. I will become a life coach because I can touch on almost every area of our lives. So thank you.
When people are passionate about something, they don't even want to wait till they get paid to do it. Thank you so much for all you do, the impact, everything. It shows in your delivery, in your post and everything. And I must say, that dream, it will happen. You are already a life coach. I'm just waiting for certification. Okay, thank you so much for introducing yourself, Grandpa. Another beautiful and very intelligent person is on this call, and she's also going to be speaking, not just speaking from research. She's speaking from experience. She's in the field of study. She knows all of those things. She's going to be on the stage to talk to us, to educate us on this GMO food. Okay? Her name is Mrs. There are so many titles behind it. I might not call all the titles, but I bet she would, she would do the honors of all those titles. So I have Mrs. Adeboye Alima. Please, the mic is yours. Introduce yourself. Let our audience meet you. Thank you.
Oh my God, I don't understand. Which of the titles? Please just leave the titles out. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon. Good morning. Just like my host has said, from anywhere you're listening to me. My name is Halima Adeboye. I'm a food safety specialist and a food microbiologist. So I help small food businesses, whether it's a dairy, it's a restaurant. Small food businesses basically to ensure that they comply with regulatory requirements, that the food safety requirements, and also help them to eliminate food contamination on their food too. So if you're wondering how I can help you, you have a small food business, you're scared, how will I comply, how won't my food go bad, and how my food can go to international level, that it will be certified as a like a right food, a good food, I can help you to do that. That's it. Then again, I also help entry level professionals, especially food professionals, to write their CVs to attract the right opportunity or job that they want. So that's basically me. Thank you so much
I should
for
come,
having me.
all of now should come and show me the way. Oh, hey, can you imagine? My sister, can you hear now? See, oh, Alima, after all of those titles, she's actually TV. This is to say one way, no cut corner. Grandpa is a ghostwriter. God, I need to have another profession to mine too. Thank you so much, sis. That introduction is top notch. So when I said she's experienced in this, I am not lying. You heard her. She's a microbiologist. Her current job is in that regard as well. So you're in the best of hands. All right. Thank you so much. See, we are going to get straight into it. My sister Romoke, the mic is yours. Please do the honors of getting Grandpa's questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, my co-host, Grandpa Alima and Christiana. We are happy to have you here. And today we are talking about a topic that concerns everyone. And a lot of people are already feeling overwhelmed with this GMO thing because this topic is the most, as in, the one that is on top of the list when you talk about food all over the world. Genetically modified organisms. They are what everybody are considering now whenever they are making their food choices. So our goal here is to provide information based on scientific based guide on how to help our family take better choices when we are planning our diet. We are not here to convince anyone. We are not here to confuse anyone about this topic, but to get more informed information on it based on research out there. We're talking about this. What is actually GMO? GMO simply means that involves plants, animals, in which their genetic can be transferred into another, like making up to be put into another to get a particular desired trait. The mode behind it is to enhance a particular food from not having only certain nutrients, but to add more to it. But what happens during the process? What do we get to benefit benefit from GMOs? Are they actually healthy? Are they actually a good substitute to the non-GMO foods that we are used to? So the experts are going to talk about all these are concerns based on research in order for us to make informed choices while we are planning our diet. When we are talking about these genetically modified foods, it is differently, as in on a different level from what we are used to. Our mode of farming the soil is to plant our seeds and get a crop out and then harvest, distribute. But this is quite different because what makes this different is the pesticides that they are actually adding to these genetically modified foods in order to preserve them, to make sure that the pests are not actually disrupting the process of planting, in which these pests are they actually good for our health. I know if you ask researchers, they will tell you that these GMO foods are safe. They don't pose any risk, just like the non-GMO foods that we are used to. But is that true? Can we actually rely on that? Fortunately enough, most of the research that I have worked on states it clearly that they cannot rule out all the risk. So if you are still working on perfecting a particular thing and then you want people to be consuming it when you cannot rule out all the risks, then it is left for you to take that decision if it is something worth risking your health on, or it doesn't have any risk that it actually can protect to your health or to your family's health. So it is overwhelming consensus out there talking about these scientific-based researchers like WHO, we have AMA, we also have National Academy of Science that are telling us that, okay, these foods they are out there now and they are safe for us to consume. But they cannot totally rule out all the risks completely. So that clause is where the government is not actually emphasizing. The government is not telling us what are the rules, what are these risks that they cannot completely rule out. So today we are going to be having this conversation. We want to know how many of them are actually in Africa and in Nigeria as a whole, and how we can actually identify them if you don't want to eat it. But if you want to eat it, how to identify them from the non-GMO foods. And then we will be able to move on from there. Because to say the fact, these foods, some of them are actually here in Nigeria. You might not notice it, but maybe you have even started eating GMO foods without even knowing it, without government coming to tell us that, okay, what we are talking about, they are readily available. So I would like to ask Grandpa some questions regarding this topic so that he can shed more light on some of them for us to learn together. While later we will ask the food safety experts to also shed more light on her own expertise to tell us more informed information that we need to actually protect our family and take well-informed decisions on the kind of food we are going to be eating henceforth. Grandpa, are you there? Can I go ahead with your question, sir?
Yes, I'm here. Here.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, we have heard about GMO. We know what this GMO, the initial means. But all GMO foods are the same. Are they actually the same? What are the most common GMO crops that we can find in our food supply as of now, sir?
Well, you have many
I can
types.
repeat the question.
No, no, no. Don't worry. You.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Are all GMO foods the same? The most common ones we found here. For now, in Nigeria, officially we are told the consumable. We have a variety of cowpea or beans that is GMO.
Yeah.
And then there is the teller maize. I stopped eating maize, I think 2 years ago. Only this year, one of my friends that came from the US bought them and we ate them. But I told him some of the risks. I know there is experience of the cotton cultivators, the cotton farmers in Nigeria, who were given GMO crops to plant, and they were promised bumper harvest of cotton. But it was a disaster because the crop failed. Now, after one season, they tried to dump it and went back to the original organic cotton seeds they have. When they planted them, they discovered that the ground itself has been poisoned and they could not germinate their seeds. But the alarming thing in Africa and Nigeria is that we have no information concerning so many things. Except you go out there to search, you may never get information about what I'm telling you. Now, the maize, I think the maize was approved in 2018 or so. Now, some crops were approved, even, in fact, before you know that it is available, you already have eaten them. In the advanced countries, some of the GMO foods are labeled. And they will tell you that organic food starts with 9. But here, nobody labels anything. Everything is just put out in the market there. But I know that the color and size of some crops or some foodstuffs are larger, very smooth in their body makeup, and that is one way to know about them. And also they could be abundantly available in the market. GMO foods could be cheaper too. They could be cheaper. They could have different, I've told you their colors will be different. And I know there is one particular watermelon that has no seed at all. Very red, succulent, looking attractive, but they have no seeds. A seedless watermelon should be a suspect. So, as a person, educate your family members and educate your friends. Because if you cannot guarantee their safety, you are saying it is dangerous. But I have read literature, I read publications where they categorically says GMO foods are carcinogenic, that is, they cause cancer. Now, genetically modified foods, why they are dangerous is because I'm told in one research I read that the gene in snake, snake, the venomous animal that harm people, that they actually extract the gene. They actually extract the gene from a snake venom to put in some plant. Imagine animal and plant, so that the venom in the snake can protect the plant, so that no ant, no pest can eat it. They will be scared. Now you are going to eat snake venom directly, and it goes into your bloodstream. So what kind of life is this? So I will say that everyone should be alert. Watch out for cheaper foodstuffs. Watch out for seedless crops. The other time I bought 4 sizable oranges. I was excited. And I said, how much is this? He said 500 naira or 1,000. I can't remember. I bought them, got home, cut it into 2, cut it into 4. There was no seed.
Hey, God.
While I was eating them, I was complaining to my wife, I can't find any seed in this orange.
Hey, God.
So please, I have noted that, and I've noted that kind of oranges. Now, our own oranges are tinier. They may not be as sweet as the other one. So I'm just giving you a practical example of how to know GMO foods. They differ. They actually differ in color. They are different in colors. You see their color. Okay, for instance, the tomato is first color. The tomato is not like our own. It's not red. It's between I don't know color of clothes now. Either not fuchsia red or something. So watch out for. Yes, watch out for those things. It's almost like brownish or something like, but just know that anything that is different from the colors you are aware, please don't buy. Anything that is the size, yes, the size. Now, you see, the promises of GMO food. Let me read the promises. GMO food, it says, to enhance crop yields, improve nutritional content, and increase resistance to pests and diseases, potentially helping to address global food scarcity, security challenges, and improve human health.
What?
It's a lie. It's a lie. In fact, it exposes to more allergy, food allergy. Then the toxicity is very, very high. And then the nutritional content has been altered, negatively affecting us and affecting our environment. For instance, I said, when you plant GMO crops or seeds in your soil, that soil has already been poisoned. Your original seed can no more germinate there. Now, if it doesn't germinate there, think about what will happen in future, because you will depend on buying only their own crops to sow in that poisoned land. So your own crops will just die off.
Wow.
So what people are doing now is they are getting sand from places that you have not planted crops, and they are planting yams in bags. I'm sure you see in the internet, they say you can plant yam in bags. You can plant vegetable in bags. It is because the soil sand or the soil has been poisoned, and so we are trying to rescue the ones that are not poisoned yet.
Wow.
So that is contrary. The promises are contrary. The genetic engineers have done havoc to us. But see, let me tell you something. In the advanced countries, they do not sell the GMO food to their citizens. They send them to us. They send them to Africa. And I'm sure you know about food aid. Food aid, you know about it.
Yes.
Food aid, they send potatoes, they send tomatoes, they send they send crops. I mean, they send apples. You know, you see
Yeah.
perishable items. They say, look, they want to feed our children. They want to make us be well nourished, but inside is cancerogenic things there. Please, my advice is be observant. Shine your eye. Nigeria will say, shine your eyes when you go to the market to buy, even up to vegetables. And Roboke noted that anything that enters any African country can reach Nigeria. So officially, some things are not already here, but some things are not in Nigeria officially, but they are in circulation and people are already eating them because they're coming from Niger, they're coming from Benin Republic, and so on and so forth. So that is the situation now. I hope I've done a little bit justice to the question.
When Grandpa was talking, I was like, It's like he was just speaking my mind. But I don't want all to come from my mouth because there are so many things. I have done a lot of research since even before I come up with this topic. The pick has been on my head. I've been doing my whole research just for my personal use. And before I now realize that it's not something that should be personal. So when you have the information, how you use it now depends on you. See, Grandpa has nailed it. The only thing that I want to add is, you see, when we are talking about these foods, even when some of them are not officially announced yet, they are already there. They have been smuggled in, and then people unknowingly have started eating it. In a country where we have poor regulations, in a country where we cannot actually differentiate which is which, that country is promoting those foods to us as normal. They want us to eat it because they have more to benefit from it than lose. Imagine having to depend on them in future before we can eat, before we can grow anything, before we can actually survive any food supply. That is where we are going with GMO. Because once our land is poisoned, tell me, what are you going to grow as in without this GMO problem again? So thank you so much for as in shedding light on that question, because that one question is like you have actually answered two. Because the second question I wanted to ask you was how to identify these GMO foods. So we have a lot of things to do. Like you said, we have to look at the sizes. We have to look at the colors. We have to look at what we are used to and what we are seeing now. This will help us to make our decisions. Then there are so many signs on it to just tell them how to us that this is not the natural food that we know, and then we have to be very careful with consuming them. Thank you so much, because you have been able to use one stone to kill two birds, Grandpa. So my last question for you, before I go to my last question, my co-host wanted to add something the other time, so I'll leave the mic to her. Let her speak. We quickly appreciate the presence of Madam Abimbola. Madam Abimbola, thank you so much for joining us. She just finished one webinar and she's here. We really, really appreciate you. God bless you. And we are happy to have you in our midst. So the mic is yours, Madam Akorede. Before I will ask Grandpa the last question.
Sorry, the network was a bit off there. So I just wanted to add something like an experience recently. Like 3 days ago, a friend mentioned how she bought watermelon and kept it in her kitchen. She was supposed to eat it that day. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, I heard you.
We can
Romoke,
hear
can
you.
you
All right, all right.
hear? Okay.
Ramoka is frozen. All right, thank you. So she kept the watermelon in her kitchen. She was supposed to eat it that day, but because she was very tired, she couldn't cut it and size it for her children to eat. So she kept it overnight. Then, as she was sleeping in the middle of the night, she heard a strange sound like something exploded. Who could have imagined that the watermelon that she bought was what exploded? This watermelon had seeds, had everything. And she did a video. It's horrible. It's like you can't imagine that this is the same thing that somebody could have consumed, would have given her children. It looked, I can't even begin to describe it. And then that was when she realized that the back, that green back, actually felt like plastic rather than the normal plant that it's supposed to be. So this is as real as it can get. These things are here, whether we want to admit that they are or not. They have found a way to sneak in. Unfortunately, there are no regulations in Nigeria. But I have the question that's been nagging at the back of my mind since I learned about this GMO thing. And I bet this is the place to just hear the question. How do you identify seeds that are GMO based from the ones that are not? Then our usual practice of maybe when I buy tomatoes now, I remove the seedlings and plant them. How are we not going to be what's the word? Recirculating or uh, supporting this idea by planting their own seed from the fruit, from whatever it is that is GMO based that we have bought from the market. I'm really wondering how this can be identified. Okay, I don't know, Grandpa, can you just shed light on that for me? It's an area of concern for me, honestly.
GMO foods don't have seeds. You have to buy the seeds from the authority, the